What did he get locked up for?
Scam.
No, like specifically, like, or was it PPPs?
No, he was just.
Cause he obviously was doing it before the pandemic.
Yeah, he was doing it before the pandemic. It wasn't a
card.
PPP loan. Yeah, it was credit cards.
Okay. How much time did he do?
2.5 years.
And he was in Club Fed.
And what?
So Club Fed is like the soft, the soft jail. Like
no.
There's nobody trying to shank you because they all are in there for doing money crimes.
Oh no.
He was with thugs?
Yeah.
Oh, he was with thugs. Okay.
Yeah.
Because for somebody that's like scamming, they're not supposed to put them in the same jail of the violent offenders.
Yep. But he was. Which is crazy, right? It's Texas.
Yeah.
Texas is a little different, but it's supposed to be like that. He was supposed to go to the feds, but he didn't. Because the way Texas set up, they usually only send people to the feds if like you're smuggling immigrants. That's when you're going straight there. Yeah.
Because if you scam in New York, because I know somebody that's people that scam in New York, you go to the jail with the people that are doing white collar crime.
Yeah. They get tablets and all types of freedom and shit. Yeah.
That's Texas. Yeah.
Texas is way different. The only time you go to the feds is if you get caught by that border. Other than that, you're going to prison.
So what's the most sugar daddies you have at the same time?
The most sugar daddies I have at the same time? That okay, I'm gonna say this specific situation because they were all friends and it was 4 of them. And we used to go, it was the best thing ever. Like we would go have dinner together like a big family.
So it would be you at a table with 4 different sugar daddies.
4 white men.
And they all knew that you were their sugar baby.
Yes. They're the one that put me on with their friends.
Let me ask you a question. and you could choose to answer it or you cannot.
Oh.
You was giving up the sugar?
Nope.
How much was... All right. You said that one of them was paying your rent, right?
Mm-hmm.
How much was your rent?
At the time?
Yeah.
$1,100. And that was just for dinner.
Like, how many? Wait, so they were paying for dinner, well, like once a month?
No, I'm saying like pay the rent for me to go to dinner with them, like 2-3 times.
So who's paying for the dinner? That's what I'm asking you. How much was those dinners? Like how many times a month was those dinners?
Well, we always go to high-end restaurants because they want all their white friends to see them out with a pretty black girl. That's the thing about Texas. Almost all the white men love black women. They're just kind of scared of what everybody else thinks. And then you also have the ones that want to like flaunt you like you're a piece of candy. They want to take you to all the real racist restaurants and let people stare at you, basically.
Like an exhibit?
Yes.
So you have 4 sugar daddies at the same time, right?
Yeah.
How much were they, like, if you had to add all 4 of them together, right? How much were they giving you a month together?
Outside of my rent, $4,000 each. All my sugar daddies, I make them give me $1,000, the least. And that's to see me one time. If they're not paying my rent. If they're paying my rent, they can see me as many times as they want in a month.
So you were making $4,000 a month from sugar daddy. And you used to have a job, right?
Yep.
And you were still doing OnlyFans, right?
Yep.
Let me ask you a question, right?
Tell me. What?
No, I'm just trying to figure out how to ask it without being disrespectful to women that possibly watch my interviews. But so somebody just giving you money for no reason.
I wouldn't say it's for no reason. It's not for no reason. There is a reason behind it. Which I can tell you.
Yeah, please.
Companionship. One of my greatest qualities, and this is why I'm in the industry that I'm in, outside of OnlyFans, companionship. I am the sugar baby that you wouldn't even think that I was your sugar baby because of the way I treat you. Like, I never ask my sugar daddies for money ever. Never. I just treat them nice. For the most part, I actually do care about them. And because I wouldn't say because they're so lonely, but because they don't really get that type of attention, that does the trick.
But if they wasn't giving you money, you wouldn't be hanging out with them.
Well, that's not true. Because actually, they don't give me money on every single occasion that we hang out.
No, but they give you money on so they give you like an allowance.
Not an allowance. $1,000 is not enough for an allowance.
So what's the most that a sugar daddy has given you? What's the most he's given you in 1 month? Dollar amount.
Okay, so like 2 months ago, and this is my favorite sugar daddy. I love him. Like 2 months ago, I had got locked up. My car got towed. And
what you got locked up for?
Huh?
What you got locked up for? You heard me.
I got pulled over because my tail light was out, and I got locked up because I had weed on.
See, I don't know, man. This is why. Listen, weed smokers, get out of the South.
Yeah.
I don't think that y'all understand.
But you know what's crazy? Because marijuana was just decriminalized in the state of Texas specifically that I know of. And they say that you're not even allowed to like go to jail unless it's like over 28 grams, which is like, a zip. And I had less than 2 grams. So I'm trying to beat this case.
Hear me out. Get out of the South. Because I don't think you understand. So in the city that I'm from, New York City, weed is legal.
I know that.
So remember when we drove to the store to get backwoods, right?
Yeah.
A store like that in New York that sells backwoods, they sell weed in it too.
Yeah. But you have to be careful with certain stores because in Texas we have a lot of stores that sell weed, but it's either like CBD.
No, this is like
real weed.
This is nigga weed.
Nigga weed.
Yeah, this nigga weed.
But that's because in New York too, you can go get your little medical marijuana card.
No, you don't need that. Like it's like going to the corner store, and in the corner store that you get your bagel from, they have the weed. I'm telling you.
And you know what's so crazy? Because even in Texas, like I always go to the little pop-up shops and little conventions and events that they have, like with the marijuana shit. And they be selling real weed too. And I'm like, how are they allowing people to host events with real police officers at security that are selling marijuana? But it's like if someone goes and drives off with the marijuana, now all of a sudden it's a crime and they're pulling you over and you're going to jail. But it also depends on where you're at. Because like, okay, like how kind of like in New York, I don't know if you know about upstate, but like, Albany, Cohoes, Troy, like they're all little cities kind of, and they're all real close together. Well, like in Texas, San Antonio specifically, it's the same way. Like we have San Antonio, Bernie, Alamo Heights. Those are all in San Antonio, but they all are like 10 minutes apart, and they claim that they're little different counties, I guess. So it really just depends where you get pulled over. Like I got pulled over in Bernie, which is racist as hell. All white people, like, they weren't playing no games. As soon as they saw me, they were already like, oh yeah, come on and get out the car, man. I was like, wait, hold up. But that sugar daddy paid my bond, paid my rent, paid for my car to get out the tow place, took me to breakfast.
So is he the sugar daddy that's paying for your lawyer right now? Or
no.
You haven't had that conversation yet?
I'm paying for my own lawyer.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to ask him for too much.
But he's not gonna let you go to jail though.
Oh yeah, no.
You never know. He might know one of the judges. He might know.
And that too. That's the way I was able to get out so quickly. Like I was only in there for a couple of hours. Like it was overnight, but it was only a couple of hours because he's friends with the judge. He was like, yeah, I built the judge's house. He's gonna make sure. I'm like, no, that's right. Oh, and he also built me a house. 5 acres.
That you live in now, or
that I have. I have an apartment locally in San Antonio.
But you also own a house. Is it in your name or? or his name, because that's the difference, right? He could tell you that
it's yours and it's not in your name. I'm getting it put in my name as we speak.
And is he paying the mortgage or is it paid off? Like
Paid
you have to. So what does he do?
He builds houses.
So he's a what's the word for? He's not an architect.
I guess kind of.
He's a contractor.
Contractor, architect. He says he manages it. I guess before his dad passed away, because he's like 56. Before his dad passed away, his dad had like this $1 billion house building company, I guess. And then I guess his dad fucked him over, and then he started his own house building company. He's been doing that since.
Okay. Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. So you got a house. So you don't currently pay your rent now?
No.
Must be nice.
Sometimes. On occasion, I pay it.
Why? If he's paying it?
Because sometimes...
He might forget? Like...
No, it's not that he forgets. This is the thing. He will be like, here's so-and-so for your rent, right? But like, I'm that person. If you don't go physically pay it for whatever that money is for, I'm going to spend that money how I want to.
On a chain?
Yeah.
Right.
On a chain, on a trip, on whatever it is, I'm doing it.
Right.
And then I'm like, the 30th comes, and I'm like, They sent a note saying that my rent is due tomorrow. And he's like, oh.
But I gave you the money already.
Yeah. He's like, I thought I just gave you the money. And I'm like, well, I needed to do. And he's like, okay, it's okay, baby. That's how he talks. It's okay, baby. I'll be there in a little while.
I need to find me a goddamn sugar mama because y'all just be living y'all life. Like, y'all just be chilling.
Yeah.
And I'm not an ugly guy where, like, somebody wouldn't want to, like...
You're like a white sugar mama. Caucasian. Let me stop saying white. Yeah.
If you watch my content.
I do.
and my fans know that's the problem.
Yeah.
That would be the problem. The fact that, yeah.
You have to. Because those are the, like, okay, I shouldn't probably say this on here, but I'm a nurse, and at my facility, my hospital specifically, when I tell you I have so many Caucasian women there that not only love Black men, they love Black people. Like, when I go in there, they're rubbing on me. I'm like, oh, Miss Smith, please calm down. You cannot caress me like that. Or they'll try to kiss me like the woman. And I have, like, a few Black coworkers and that are men, and they do the same thing.
You ever had a sugar mama?
Have I ever had a sugar mama? Kind of. I wouldn't. What's the age qualification for a sugar mama?
The age doesn't matter to me.
I did have a sugar mama.
So she was paying your rent?
She was paying every damn thing.
And what happened? Why didn't that continue?
I think she had a wife. Honestly, I had moved to Austin. I met this girl in Quick Trip. And within 2 days of us meeting, she gave me a key to an apartment and was like, here, this is where you live now. And I was like,
And you said, okay.
Yep.
You're going to be kidding her. You better chill out, man.
You sound like my mom. I swear. I was like, fuck it, why not? So we ended up, like, obviously, before I completely moved in, I was kind of like just, hanging out with her. She took me out to her hometown, McAllen, Texas, middle of fucking nowhere. I passed out. Never again. But, we were hanging out, we were enjoying each other. And then I started to realize when I started to stay at the apartment, when I would, like, go back and forth from San Antonio to Austin, when I would stay out there, she would, like, never stay at the apartment. Like, she would be like, oh, because it was at one point where I didn't see her for, like, a week. And I'm like, I'm in your apartment. You didn't say this is my apartment. You said this is where you live now. Even though I already had somewhere to live, you said this is where I live now. You haven't been there in a week. Obviously we're texting and on the phone, but like, you haven't been there. You're telling me you're showering at the gym. Like, what the fuck are you showering at the gym for if you have a whole apartment? You know what I'm saying?
But you wouldn't have cared anyway.
I wouldn't.
Right.
I wouldn't have cared.
But she didn't know that.
No. And that's the thing I feel like a lot of people, why a lot of things go left for me when it comes to relationships, because I'm not square and I don't think that I'm monogamous either. So I don't really care. And as long as I'm in the loop, and if it's like I gotta find out from something else or, then it's a problem. But like, if I know about it, I don't really care. So I was like, girl, are you married? I think that's the only other, you're in your 30s. You're not, you're saying you're sleeping in your car and showering in the gym when you have a whole place. Like, am I burdening? Am I bothering you? You told me to fucking come here. So I was kind of confused. And I was like, you gotta be married. You're at home with your wife, and this is your little backup apartment that you just have your fun in.
So what happened once you found out that did she tell you that she was married?
No, but I think she was going to, because this is around the time that I was dating my ex in prison. But like he knew that like I was into women, so that I was always gonna deal with women. So one day, because again I can't hide things, so I realized that she was actually starting to get kind of serious. Like, you know, because she took me to her hometown to meet her family, and like to me, meeting family is a very big thing because I don't do that. You know? I don't bring everybody around my family. So once I met her family, I kind of let her know, like, I want to let you know, like, you know, I do have a boyfriend in prison. And obviously, I know you being a woman and a stud, like, I know you're not going to be okay with it. But I want to let you know because I find it disrespectful for me to be laid up in your crib, laid up with you, you know, doing things with you when I know I have a boyfriend. And then she was like, well, I have to tell you something too.
But you already knew.
Yeah, but she never ended up saying what it was. She like completely got sidetracked and was like, it's really important. I don't want you to be mad at me. And I was like, oh yeah, you're married. You're married. You got a girlfriend that you've been with for a long, long time. Because ain't no way.
So how did that end though? Like,
How did that end? I think I'm kind of aggressive and she was more sensitive. So like, and I'll be trolling. Like I always say little stupid TikToks. So like, I think one day I was on the phone with my best friend and I was like, "When you just know, bitch around here, get a new one," or something like that. But I was playing, and she took it to her, and she was like, "You can fucking go. You want to get a new hoe, yada yada yada." And I was like, "Girl." So then she started like grabbing my stuff, and I'm so big on like my things because you know I work so hard for the shit that I have, so don't touch my stuff. But she was like grabbing my stuff, my makeup bag, and my clothes, and like trying to put it outside, and I was like, "Oh, I don't put my hands on you, but I'm gonna have to two-piece you because you're playing." And then it just, you know, I didn't hit her, but I pushed her. After that, she was like, "I don't want to deal with you anymore." I'm like, "Okay, good, fine, babe." And that was it.